could have slammed that. Unless she owns a lion. It takes quite.
Hello, how everybody doing? Today, I'll be talking about the relationship between a perm and hair dye and breast cancer. You know, I was growing up, they always said, if you leave the perm, the women hair too long, gonna eat the women hair out. That's the only side effect they used to say. But now they're showing that they've been doing studies for the last 8 years saying hair dye and perm, especially in black women, can cause breast cancer. Here go a video, because I like showing, playing something or something to show I'm not lying. Yeah, kind of messed up on the video, but I'm not lying. I'm gonna play the video pretty soon. I guess I've been having it on hold for a while.
Tonight, new concerns over hair dyes and chemical straighteners. A study of almost 50,000 women found a 9% increased risk of those who use permanent hair dye and an 18% increased risk for those who use straighteners. The numbers went up for those who use products more frequently, as well as for African American women, who had a 45% increased risk if they used permanent dye.
It's possible that the products marketed to Black women based on their hair texture and type might be different than the products marketed towards white women.
The research can't say dyes and straighteners cause cancer, but experts say the more than 5,000 chemicals in hair products could be one factor.
Some of them, which we call endocrine disruptors, can actually enter into the bloodstream and go to the breast tissue, damage DNA, and thereby increase the risk of cancer.
The study's authors caution more research is needed and say it's not time to stop using dyes and straighteners.
A lot of different factors influence a woman's risk of developing breast cancer, including their weight and their diet and their physical activity.
The study found no increased risk for semi-permanent dyes. Experts say you can also wear gloves, don't leave products on your head for longer than the directions say, and always rinse your scalp thoroughly. Tonight, words of caution for the millions who color or straighten their hair. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News, New York.
Thank you, NBC News. Ladies, when she just told y'all that, man, get ready for that class action lawsuit. If you see anything, a lawyer want to get a class action lawsuit, join it. Put your name in it. You might not get much, but join it. The reason she put the last part on there, because they don't want to die. They want people to continue on using dye. And for black women, it's even worse, man. It's worse for black women. I don't know why everything else worse for black people or brown people. Here's an article from the NPR. New research raised concern about the safety and the permanent hair dye and chemical hair straightening. For us, they call perm, grew up. Especially among African American women. There's a previous research in animals has found links between certain chemicals in hair dye and straighteners and cancer. But findings from other human studies on the association between hair dye, straighteners, and cancer have been inconsistent. This large study provides firm evidence of the link. Researchers analyze data, an ongoing study called the Sister Study, looking at medical records and lifestyle surveys from 46,709 women between the age of 35 and the age of 74. The women answered the question about their use of hair dye and straightener. While early studies on the hair dye and cancer risk include mostly white women, the new study includes 9% of African American women. Researchers found that women who use permanent hair dye or chemical screening were at higher risk of developing breast cancer. Black women go natural, y'all. Go natural. Cut that stuff out your head. The association was notable higher among black women. Cut that mess out y'all head, y'all. Study author an investigation with the National Institute of Environmental Health Science who studied environmental risk factors for breast cancer. They said after 8 years of follow-up, 8 years, whites found permanent hair dye use was associated with about 7% higher risk of developing breast cancer among white women, whereas in black women, that risk was about 45%. See, I like talking about, things that matter, that gonna keep you alive, and I like bringing articles and news report to support it. That risk was even higher among black women who dyed their hair frequently, every 1 or 2 months. Researchers don't know which ingredients in the products might be the concern. The study did not look at the specific ingredients in the product women were using, on it whether they had used the product and whether they developed breast cancer. All women in the sister study was already at high risk for breast cancer since they had sisters who had breast cancer. Researchers note that in the United States, breast cancer remain high for all women and appears to be increased for non-Hispanic black women, who also are most likely to be diagnosed with more aggressive form of diseases and more likely to die from it. It said hair products contain more than 5,000 chemicals, according to researchers, including those. Man, they got some names on here. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I can't pronounce that junk. It's just the three. It sounds like mutagenic, aromatic. It's aromatic, and the other one, I don't know, which can raise cancer risk according to White. When it came to chemical screenings, risk didn't vary by race. Both blacks and white women who use hair screening was about 30% more likely to develop breast cancer than those who didn't use the products. However, black women are most likely to use them, with about 75% of black women in the study reporting they screening their hair. Once again, black women go natural. Go back to that darn screening comb and that darn flat iron. Sure. I'd rather have your hair sizzling and smelling than for y'all developing breast cancer and leaving this world way before your time. For chemical screening, one of the biggest concerns there is, which is known as carcinogen, is CARCINOGEN. She notes that in the early 2000s, just before the study began, Brazilian treatment came on the market. This new treatment, commonly called a Brazilian blowout, contains formaldehyde. Oh man, it's FORMALDEHEDE. While earlier hair screening treatments did not. They said the study findings should be understood in context, said Dr. Brawley, a medical shit, man. Donate it, sweetie. They said much more research is needed. He said to know for sure how risk this product are. For example, long-term clinical trial, the control group would be more defiant. But this type of study would be difficult, if not impossible, to do. Sometimes science just can't. Sometimes science just cannot give us the answer that we want to give us, said broadly. Ladies, go natural, man. I know, I know white women, but some Caucasian women, they don't like, they can go natural too. Yeah, but they don't like it because their hair be curly. And that's not the standard of beauty in in Europe or United States. Curly hair white women. So a lot of white women don't like their hair to be curly, so they spring their hair. And then a whole bunch of black women don't like having, well, a whole bunch of women, period, especially in their 30s and 40s, they don't embrace their gray. They unlike men, but most men, see that? Unlike most men, women don't embrace their gray. They feel like they look in the mirror thinking they get older, so they dye their hair. And then with a bunch of, you know, I'm not putting the finger at black women, but the black women I have seen like putting all that different, but it's white women too. They like putting all that different color or dye in their hair. And having that the orange and red and blue, all that different type of stuff, said that meet their personality, also give them a high chance of getting breast cancer. So I don't know. Bump that. Here go a little more of this article. Dr. Doris Brown, a medical oncologist, it's oncologist, something like that. A former president of the National Medical Association suggests women start a conversation with their doctor about the risk for breast cancer. I think it is important for women, they say particularly with black women, but they say African American, but we ain't from Africa. But that's another story. Particularly with African American women, not to panic every time the study come out, she said. But it should raise questions for their primary care provider. Because this ain't new right here. This right here is not new. They had studies in 2017 talking about the same thing, but it wasn't as publicized like it should have been. Some media's talked about it, but there wasn't really nothing in the national media until today. Or this week they just like, okay, we need to take this jump serious. Because like I said, it's not only blacks, all women, well, majority, I can't say all women, but it's a great population of women who dye their hair, trying to hide their gray. A great population of women put perm in their hair. They said, for example, Brown suggests doctors and patients discuss the use of hair products like dye and perm, along with other stuff they put in their hair. And then they said the history of like alcohol, with alcohol consumption, smoking, obesity, and living near environmental contamination. According to Brown, the key lesson from this study for both doctor and patient is that, and she quote, when we are aware of new association of breast cancer risk, we need to increase our surveillance to include these potential risk factors in doctor-patient discussion. And then they said for both race, there was no increased risk for women who use semi-permanent or temporary dye. You see that? They said for both race, there was no increased risk for women who use semi-permanent or temporary dye. The kind that eventually wash out with shampoo. to reduce the risk, researchers White said women, the person named White, the reason I keep on saying White, the person named White, researcher White said women might want to choose these products instead. They want y'all, the researchers saying y'all need to use these temporary dyes or semi-permanent dyes. So the reason you see me reading, like I said earlier, the reason I read and play articles, I don't want it been especially for women of my color, they feel they've been targeted. They feel they be targeted sometimes about their hair. So I don't want this. I don't want them to think this is a video about black women when this is a video about all women who die and put perms in their hair. Because me personally, I'm not a woman, as you can tell, and I try not to give my opinion on what women do to their body. But when I seen this, I think I knew I had to talk about it. 'Cause not all women or not all people, period, look at the news. Some people, if more people look at YouTube videos and be on other social media sites instead of looking at the news. There's more people to be on that. So I felt since I'm doing YouTube and it should have been my due diligence to discuss this right here. Because I have my family, a bunch of women, and there's a bunch of women, billions of women on this planet, and it wouldn't be right. I do like doing my video being silly and stuff, but when it comes down to I find something that need to be discussed, I think that need to be discussed, I'm doing it. And so, ladies, like they said, if you're gonna use hair dye, use that temporary hair dye. That not permanent hair dye, and stop perm your head. I know some ladies put in there because they make them look more professional in the workplace and stuff, and they've been having in their hair for years. Like my hair, the hair hanging down and stuff like that. And and then that's what the model be wearing. They have their hair straight, so they think women think they had to have their hair straight, and then they don't want to be that taboo about gray in their hair because people gonna say they old. But as you can see by this article I just read and partially what I played, that the same thing that making you beautiful is the same thing that can cause you to develop breast cancer. So I know you have programmed yourself that straight hair is beautiful, but man, let that junk go, man. That beauty, let that junk go, man, because your family needs you around. Your family, they need you around, man. Cause I know a few people that of my color and younger, my color passed away around my age. And when we were still, what was in our 20s or late 30s? We was in our 20s or 30s. Passed away from breast cancer and stuff, and being diagnosed with breast cancer. Like there was a young lady, I think it was last week or a week before last. One of my Facebook friends, she passed away from breast cancer, and she was just in her 30s, early 30s. And it's some more ladies. It's a bunch of ladies on my Facebook. Some fighting breast cancer and some had their breast cancer in submission. So be careful, ladies. I was just looking for some more stuff to help support my video, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just saying something that I'm lying. Because that's not. That was a commercial came up. If I can't get no commercial, if I can't get no ad, I ain't gonna play nobody else ad.
Women in the United States dye their hair, but a new study from the National Institutes of Health may have some reconsidering the color change. NIH finds regular use of some of the chemicals in hair dyes and hair straighteners could put women at higher risk for breast cancer. Previously, there was concern hair dye might promote cancer, but data was conflicting. In this NIH study, researchers studied more than 46,000 women whose sisters were diagnosed with breast cancer. They find people who regularly use hair dye were 9% more likely to develop breast cancer, and for those who regularly use chemical straighteners, the risk is even higher at 30%. The study also finds the effect is considerably stronger in Black women than in white women. There is also possibly not enough evidence to definitively say that we have to stop dyeing our hair right now, but for women with a higher risk of breast
Man. Yep, it's a higher risk for Black women to get breast cancer for hair. They're junk crazy. It's just like when it came to smoking. The Newports and cause a higher risk for lung cancer. It seems like all this stuff that can develop cancer that black use is higher risk than white use. And I thought we pretty much use all the same thing. Hey, the bottom line is, ladies, love yourself. Stop using this doing perm and stop using your hair dye. Gray on women, to me, it don't sexy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like seeing the little grays coming through there, and especially if you take care of your skin. Drink water. Drink that water. But yeah, I want to go ahead and end this video, and I just wanted to put this out here and let y'all know that you're at risk by dyeing your hair. You're at risk by perming your hair. Thank you for watching this video. I'm gonna come back because something else I want to talk about. Like I said in another video, I don't know how to edit and cut one part off and then had a separate video. So I just come back and talk about something else. They're dealing with millions of people who they get their food stamp cut off. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Like, definitely share. If you don't share the video, share the information. Let the people know, your family, friends, associates. Let them know about this new study, about the increase in hair dye and perm. Thank you for watching. I'll come back in a little bit and talk about the Donald Trump administration about to cut out some of the food stamps. Talk to you in a little bit.